First contact gone wrong. The bridge of the UES Defiance hummed with the quiet efficiency that Captain Alina Reyes had cultivated over her 15 years of service. Her experimental warship represented humanity's latest achievement in space warfare technology, though she hoped its capabilities would never need to be tested in actual combat. The Defiance's sleek, obsidian hull concealed a revolutionary propulsion system and weapons array that Earth's defense coalition had poured trillions into developing. "Captain, we're picking up unusual readings at the edge of the Procyon system," Lieutenant Wei announced, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "Multiple vessels, non-human configuration. They're not matching any known signatures in our database." Reyes straightened in her command chair, her dark eyes narrowing. Humanity had encountered only 3 other spacefaring species in their expansion through the local star cluster, and all those meetings had been peaceful, if cautious. "Yellow alert. Notify Earth Command immediately," she ordered. "Let's not assume hostility, but let's not be naive either." The ships approaching were massive, each one nearly the size of Earth's largest orbital station. They moved with precision that spoke of advanced technology and experienced crews. The lead vessel transmitted a communication request almost immediately. "This is Captain Alina Reyes of the United Earth Ship Defiance. We welcome peaceful contact." The screen flickered, revealing a being with iridescent scales covering a humanoid face. 6 eyes arranged in a hexagonal pattern blinked independently at her. "I am High Commander Vexthor of the Galactic Consortium," the alien replied, its translator converting a series of clicks and whistles into fluent English. "We have been observing your species' expansion. Your technology advances at concerning rates." Reyes maintained her diplomatic composure despite the implied threat. "We seek only peaceful coexistence and mutual benefit through trade and cultural exchange." The diplomatic meetings that followed over the next few days seemed promising on the surface, but Reyes noticed troubling undercurrents. The consortium representatives asked probing questions about Earth's defenses, manufacturing capabilities, and population centers, while providing little information about themselves. "They're sizing us up," Reyes confided to her first officer, Commander Jackson, as they reviewed recordings of the meetings in her ready room, "not as potential allies, but as potential threats." Jackson nodded grimly. "Intelligence agrees with your assessment. Earth Command is putting all colonies on alert status, but they don't want to provoke an incident." 3 days later, as the Defiance maintained orbit around Proxima Centauri, humanity's oldest extrasolar colony, Reyes was awakened by the ship's alert system. "Captain, to the bridge. Multiple consortium vessels have entered the system with weapons hot." Reyes bolted from her quarters, fully dressed in seconds. The turbolift deposited her on the bridge as tactical displays showed the colony below already under attack. Massive energy weapons tore through the defensive grid like it was paper. "Get between them and the colony," Reyes ordered. "Divert all power to forward shields. Open a channel." "Channel open," Communications Officer Paddle reported. "Consortium vessels, this is Captain Reyes. Cease your attack immediately. You are violating our peace agreement and attacking civilians." High Commander Vexthor's face appeared on screen, mandibles clicking in what Reyes now recognized as amusement. "There was no agreement, Captain. Merely reconnaissance. Your species develops too quickly. The consortium has determined you will become a threat within 2 centuries. Our protocol for such cases is preemptive pacification." The transmission cut off as the consortium flagship fired directly at the Defiance. The experimental shield system barely held against the onslaught. "Return fire," Reyes commanded. "Get the civilians to the emergency shelters." The battle that followed was hopeless from the start. The Defiance managed to damage 2 consortium vessels, but the colony below was being systematically destroyed. Millions of lives were being extinguished while Reyes and her crew fought desperately to save them. "Captain, we're receiving distress calls from all human colonies," Paddle reported, horror evident in her voice. "This is a coordinated attack across all of human space. Earth itself is under heavy bombardment. Rise felt the blood drain from her face. Humanity was facing extinction, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. The experimental ship shuddered under another impact. "Shields at 12%, Captain," Way reported. "One more hit like that, and we're done." "Emergency jump," Rise ordered. "Random coordinates, just get us out of here." The Defiance's quantum drive engaged, tearing a hole in space-time and hurling the vessel into the void between stars. When they emerged, the ship was badly damaged, systems failing across all decks. "Status report," Rise demanded, wiping blood from a cut on her forehead. "We've lost 23 crew members," Jackson reported grimly. "Life support is functioning on emergency power. Weapons are at 30% capacity. Communications are down." "And Earth? The colonies?" Jackson's silence was answer enough. For 3 days, the crew worked tirelessly to repair what they could. When communications were restored, the truth became undeniable. Earth had fallen. The colonies were destroyed. As far as they could determine, the Defiance was all that remained of humanity's presence in the galaxy. "We should run," suggested Lieutenant Wade during a senior staff meeting. "Find somewhere to hide, maybe preserve something of our species." Ray stared at the tactical display, showing the movements of consortium ships hunting for survivors. "No," she said finally. "We're not running." "Captain," Commander Jackson questioned, "we can't possibly." "The Defiance was built to test theoretical technology," Rise interrupted. "Dr. Chen, your quantum resonance torpedoes, you said they were untested in actual combat conditions." The ship's lead scientist nodded cautiously. The simulations were promising, but without a full testing regimen. "And the adaptive shield harmonics, they performed better than expected against the consortium weapons. And our AI tactical system was designed to learn and adapt to enemy patterns, correct?" "Yes, Captain, but..." Ray stood, her decision made. "The consortium thinks they've eliminated humanity. They won't be expecting one ship to attack their main battle group." A stunned silence fell over the meeting room. "Captain," Jackson said carefully, "that's suicide." "Maybe," Rise acknowledged. "But we're already dead. Humanity is already dead. The only question is whether we die hiding, or whether we show the consortium exactly why they were right to fear us." She activated the main display, showing the position of the consortium's elite fleet. 12 massive warships currently orbiting the ruins of Mars. "One ship against 12, Wai whispered. "One human ship," Rise corrected. "With technology they've never seen before and a crew with nothing left to lose." She looked around at the faces of her officers. "I'm not ordering this. I'm asking for volunteers." One by one, they nodded. In the end, every surviving crew member chose to stay. As the Defiance's engines came back online at full power, Rise recorded a final log entry. "This is Captain Alina Reyes of the UES Defiance. Earth has fallen. Humanity's colonies have been destroyed. We are implementing Defiance Protocol. A last stand against overwhelming odds. Should anyone find this record someday, know this: humanity may perish today, but we will not go quietly. We will show the galaxy why the consortium feared us. We will show them what it means to awaken the fury of the human spirit." She closed the log and gave the order that would send them hurtling toward the heart of the enemy fleet. "Set course for Mars. Maximum speed. All hands to battle stations." The Defiance leaped forward, its experimental drive pushing the boundaries of physics. On the bridge, Captain Rise watched the stars streak by, her mind filled not with fear, but with a cold, calculated determination. The hunt had begun. But this time, humanity was the predator. The impossible victory. The consortium fleet orbiting the devastated remains of Mars was arranged in a defensive formation that had conquered 1,000 worlds. 12 massive warships, each bristling with enough firepower to scorch a planet's surface, maintained their positions with military precision. They were hunter-killers, the pride of the consortium's expansionist force, and they had no idea what was coming for them. The UES Defiance dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system, immediately engaging its experimental stealth systems. Captain Alina Reyes stood on the bridge, her face illuminated by the tactical displays. "Status report," she ordered quietly. "Stealth systems functioning at 94% efficiency," reported Lieutenant Wei. "They haven't detected us yet. Weapons. Quantum resonance torpedoes primed. Adaptive pulse cannons charged and ready." Reyes nodded, her eyes never leaving the display showing the enemy fleet. "Dr. Chen, is the AI tactical system fully online?" The scientist nodded from his station. "EVE is analyzing consortium battle patterns from our previous encounter. She's already identified several potential vulnerabilities in their formation." "Good." Reyes took a deep breath. "This is what we're going to do. We're not going to engage them all at once. We hit hard, we hit fast, and we disappear. Make them chase us, split their formation. Divide and conquer," Commander Jackson said with a grim smile. "Exactly." Reyes pointed to the smallest vessel in the consortium fleet. "We start there. EVE calculate an approach vector that keeps us in their sensor blind spots." The ship's artificial intelligence responded in a calm, measured voice. "Vector calculated, Captain. Approaching on your mark. Proceed." The Defiance glided through space like a predator, its black hull absorbing rather than reflecting the distant sunlight. As they closed in on their first target, Reyes felt a cold calm settle over her. This wasn't about revenge, though the thought of Earth's billions dead certainly fueled her resolve. This was about showing the consortium that they had made a fatal miscalculation. "In range in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire quantum torpedoes. Full spread," Reyes commanded. The experimental weapons launched silently into space, their energy signatures masked until the moment of impact. When they struck the consortium vessel, they didn't explode conventionally. Instead, they created localized quantum disruptions that tore apart the very atomic structure of the ship's hull. The enemy vessel broke apart without even managing to transmit a distress signal. "Target destroyed," Wei reported, a note of surprise in his voice. "The torpedoes performed beyond specifications. And the rest of the fleet? They've detected the explosion but haven't pinpointed our location yet. They're moving to investigate." Reyes allowed herself a small smile. "Good. Let's make them work for it. Prepare for Phase 2. For the next hour, the Defiance executed a series of hit-and-run attacks, striking from unexpected vectors and disappearing before the consortium could effectively respond. 3 more enemy ships fell to their attacks, their massive hulls torn apart by weapons they had no defense against. But the element of surprise couldn't last forever. "Captain, they've adapted their sensor grid," Wei announced urgently. "They've detected us." The tactical display showed the remaining 8 consortium warships altering their formation, weapons powering up as they converged on the Defiance's position. "Evasive maneuvers," Reyes ordered. "Route emergency power to shields." The ship rocked violently as enemy fire found its mark. Alarms blared across the bridge as damage reports flooded in. "Shield holding at 62%, Wei reported, "but they won't survive sustained bombardment." Reyes studied the tactical display, mind racing. "EVE, analysis of enemy fire patterns. The consortium vessels are targeting our propulsion systems with 73% of their firepower," the AI responded. "Their strategy appears to be immobilization followed by capture rather than destruction." "They want to study our technology," Dr. Chen realized. "That gives us an opening," Reyes said. "They're being careful. We won't be." "Target their flagship's command center. All weapons." The Defiance surged forward, taking hit after hit as it charged directly toward the consortium flagship, a colossal vessel nearly 20 times its size. The human ship's adaptive shields shifted their resonance frequency continuously, making them increasingly difficult to penetrate. "They're surrounding us," Jackson warned. "Let them," Reyes replied. "We want them close for this next part." As the consortium vessels closed in, Thinking they had trapped their prey, Reyes gave the order she had been waiting for. Initiate quantum field inversion. Dr. Chen activated the experimental system that had never been tested outside of theoretical models. The Defiance's drive core channeled massive amounts of energy into a rapidly expanding field that inverted the quantum state of everything within a defined radius. The effect on the consortium ships was catastrophic. Their shield harmonics reversed, weapons systems backfired, and navigation systems failed simultaneously. In the confusion, the Defiance struck with precision, targeting the flagship's command center with every operational weapon. The massive ship's bridge exploded outward in a spectacular breach, venting atmosphere and crew into the vacuum of space. Without central command, the consortium fleet's coordinated attack dissolved into chaos. "Their flagship is crippled," Wei reported, not bothering to hide his amazement. "The remaining vessels are breaking formation." "They're retreating," Jackson added incredulously. Rai shook her head. "Not retreating. Regrouping. We have minutes at most before they coordinate a new attack." She turned to Dr. Chen. "The phase resonance cascade. Is it ready?" The scientist paled. "Captain, that system was purely theoretical. We have no idea what will happen if." "Will it work?" Rise interrupted. Chen hesitated, then nodded slowly. "In theory, yes, but the energy requirements would drain our core completely. We'd be dead in space afterward. If it works, there won't be anyone left to take advantage of that," Rise pointed out. "Prepare the system." As the consortium ships began to reform their attack pattern, the Defiance positioned itself at the exact center of their formation. Every system on the ship not directly involved in the coming attack was shut down, diverting all power to the experimental weapon. Phase resonance cascade charged at 94%. 95%. Wei counted up. The consortium vessels closed in, their weapons charging for a coordinated strike that nothing could survive. 97%, 98%, 99%. "Fire," Reyes ordered calmly. The phase resonance cascade didn't create a conventional explosion. Instead, it generated a rapidly expanding field of overlapping quantum phases. Matter caught within couldn't maintain molecular cohesion, as it existed simultaneously in multiple quantum states. The consortium ships didn't explode. They simply fell apart, disintegrating from the inside out as the varied fabric of reality briefly became incompatible with their existence. When the cascade field collapsed, the Defiance hung alone in space, surrounded by dispersing clouds of particles that had once been the most elite fleet in the consortium's armada. "Status report," Rise requested, her voice hoarse. "All enemy vessels destroyed," Wei reported in disbelief. We did it, Captain." "Casualties. Minor injuries only. No fatalities." Rise closed her eyes briefly, allowing herself a moment of quiet pride in her crew. "Power levels?" she asked. "Critical," Chen confirmed. "Core is depleted. We have emergency life support and minimal maneuvering capability only." Rise nodded. "Open a channel. Broadcast on all frequencies, maximum power." When communications confirmed the channel was open, she spoke clearly and deliberately. "This is Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Ship Defiance to any consortium forces. Your elite fleet has been destroyed by a single human vessel. We are the last of humanity, and we will not be exterminated without cost. Consider this a demonstration of what one human ship can do. Imagine what our fleet would have accomplished had you not struck first." She paused, letting the implications sink in. "Return to your leaders with this message. Earth may have fallen, but humanity survives, and we will rebuild. Any further aggression against human survivors will be met with the same response. Defiance out." As the transmission ended, Rice turned to her first officer. "Set course for the Alpha Centauri debris field. There may be survivors hidden among the colony's remains. With our power levels, it will take months to reach Alpha Centauri," Jackson pointed out. Rice nodded. "Then we better start now." As the damaged ship limped away from the battlefield, the crew of the Defiance began to realize the full significance of what they had accomplished. They were no longer just survivors. They were the seed from which humanity would grow again, and they had sent a message to the galaxy that would echo for generations. Underestimate humans at your peril. In the vast database of the consortium's homeworld, a new designation was added to humanity's entry that day. Extreme caution advised. Species demonstrates disproportionate military capability and unprecedented determination. Avoid contact if possible. It was the highest warning in the consortium's vast catalog of conquered species, and the first time it had ever been assigned to a species believed to be nearly extinct.